Right.
Hi everyone.
10 things women want. Now, this has been one of the biggest dilemmas men have struggled to answer. In fact, we've got experts saying that they don't even know themselves. Well, in this video, I am going to help you clarify some myths as I went from a guy who had no dates, no luck, to a married man who didn't just marry an amazing woman, but chose out of a very, very elite selection. And has got a child, amazing child. Yeah, gay family, yeah. So this is necessarily for guys who are looking to date seriously and eventually look for the right partner or build a healthy relationship with their current existing partners in the hopes that they can eventually have a peaceful home, okay? Now, this is backed by experts, it's backed by my personal experience. My father was a counselor, he still pretty much is. So that's just to give you a quick insight as to why you should listen to me. But without further ado, let's dive in. So they want to feel emotionally safe. Now, a lot of us don't understand the power in being grounded. And what I mean by being grounded is you're not just assertive and I'm a macho man. No, you're actually at peace within. So that means that the storm that's outside doesn't affect what's internally because of how calm you are. You're not nonchalant, you're calm, but you're also able to utilize your emotions to create an assertive aura. Okay, and how I done that was pretty much this. So I went from this guy who was questioning himself. I'll approach a girl and I didn't know it, but she knew that I'll go there and say, hey, listen, I don't know who I am, but I hope you can approve that it's good enough for you. It's good enough for me to approach you based on the fact that I don't know who I am, but hopefully I'm good enough for you. And when women can sense that, some women will have pity on you and say yes, and some will simply laugh at you or reject you. So the best way to eradicate that doubt is by being aware of it and ensuring that it never comes across, because you've actually dealt with your identity. You've actually dealt with the persona you want to be, and you've not just done that, but you've actually understood that in order for you to be the person that's assertive, goal-orientated, and ready to get things, you're also able to understand that you are you in the calm of the storm or the turbulence. Number 2, they want to be truly understood. Now, this is cliche, but when I mean to be understood, as guys, we believe that women don't listen, women need to be a lot more logical and blah, 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 myth there, myth there. Men and women speak a different language. And you now saying to a woman, you need to be more logical, and a woman telling you need to be more emotional, it's like you going to China and saying to the guy, hey, listen, I know you guys speak Chinese here, but I'm English, so you don't have to speak English. Is that right? It doesn't really make sense, does it? And that's exactly what you utilizing logic in an emotional scenario does. And that's exactly what using your emotions in a logical situation does. You're speaking 2 different languages. So learn how to speak the right language at the right time. Because here's what the kicker is. Both men and women have masculine energy or feminine energy. It's just about understanding how to navigate in those. Now, in my previous video where I discussed the masculinity dilemma and how you can become a comprehensive man based on the teaching of not just Jason Wilson, but the Way of a Superior Man and many other people that have gone before me, we can pretty much understand that a man can be a nurturer, but also a leader, a provider, and most importantly, ferocious and assertive, and still be kind and gentle to the people he loves. So being able to be truly understood stems into understanding what emotions to bring out and when it's time to acknowledge and when it's time to lead. Okay, now you're going to be able to do that once you understand number 1, which is gaining clarity, because once you gain the clarity, you're going to understand what buttons to push in order for you to maintain that clarity. Number 3, consistent effort and not just grand gestures. Now this is to the I don't want to call beta guys. This all alpha beta guys, I think is completely crap. I think one is extremely masculine and the other one's extremely feminine. And I don't believe neither work. You need to be balanced. That's my belief, because I don't believe a guy should not know how to defend himself, or not know how to say no to a woman, or not know how to sort of assert his presence. And I don't believe a guy should be a complete douchebag and tell you, hey, listen, I'm the man here, and you're going to listen to what I got to say. I think there's a balance, and that's just my belief. But I may be wrong. There's enough guys doing both, so you choose whoever you want to go to. But around here, I'm just a husband who's trying to teach other guys how to do it properly. So consistent effort, not occasional grand gestures. Now, why is that different? Is because you want to see your woman as someone who has an emotional tank, and in that emotional tank, you got to be able and aware of the levels that she's at. Now, the grand gestures are great, but they don't feel that the journey's still the same. That she's still the same person every day. So if you're just filling that tank every 6 months with, I flew you out, how dare you talk to me like this, and then disappear for the rest of the year, I'm sorry, that tank is very empty. However, if you're the small gestures, oh babe, how you doing? Oh, I just called to check on you. I hope you're good. Or, hey babe, listen, I know I'm going to be busy, so let's just spend maybe 10 minutes, whatever the case is. I 100% believe you should be on your mission, by the way. Like, you should be on your freaking mission. Guys, please, don't do this thing where you think for a hot second that it's okay for you to abandon who you are and just be mesmerized. And no, that's not what we're doing right now. And I'm my husband, so I don't know who's telling you to do otherwise. Anyways, consistent effort. So show up consistently. Show up in a way that's sustainable to you and your goals, but show up. Number 4, respect her mind, not just her body. Now, in this one here, let's talk about the body first. Respect means that you honor that person, but most importantly, you can not necessarily, you appreciate, but not to the point where you adore. Right? When you respect someone, you say, hey, listen, I respect you. But you don't adore them, you're not obsessed over them, right? That's the whole point here. So appreciate her body, but when you do the obsessive stuff, it just comes across a bit creepy. And if anything, it also shows that you don't get a lot of it. And of course, if you're dating, that should be very clear that you're not in desperation mode. You're very cool. And I kid you not, once you understand and you grasp that energy that allows you to navigate through those type of relationships or those type of dynamics with assertiveness, as in, listen, I ain't stressing over this, I'm good, and you still maintain respect, you respect her mind, she's going to go all over for you. Why? Because a lot of guys are not doing it. They're either so infatuated with the body, or they don't even know how to have a serious conversation. So respect her mind, but not just acknowledging her emotions, but allowing her to feel, grow. And there's a 3 part I want you to understand here as well. So a man is a father, he's a husband, and he's also a mission accomplisher, right? So in those 3 entities, he must be able to fulfill those on a daily basis in order for him to feel fulfilled. Part of being a father is being a nurturer, the teacher, the person that guides, the person that looks out for, all these different situations. And I'm not saying you should be a dad to your wife or partner, but I'm saying that it should be part of you that should represent those fatherly instincts, or that should be able to bring those fatherly instincts to life as of when needed. Okay, and then you've got the husband. The husband is the person that provides, the person that protects, the person that fights for what he loves, and is able to show that he cares, right? And in that, you want to be able to basically navigate in those emotions and being present for your partner and having those intellectual depth conversations, and obviously still teaching and guiding, but being able to, like I said, bring out the qualities as of when needed. The number 3 is the mission achiever. Now, in the mission achiever role, you're doing quite simply this. You're working on your goals. You're dedicated, you're laser focused, you're ambitious, you're ready to go. Listen, you will stop at nothing. You're ruthless. If someone kind of gets in your way, you're able to just get them out. If someone attacks your woman, you're able to pull your fist up and say, listen, you're not going to touch my woman, or you're not going to touch what I believe needs to be protected. right? The ability to defend and protect, okay? So these three will pretty much cover your emotional tank. Once one of these three is missing, as a man, you're going to fill a void. As five, they want a partner that's emotionally available. Now, guys, when it comes to this, it's quite simple. Emotionally available means that you're happy to listen. Emotionally available means that you're happy to talk. Emotionally available means you're happy to acknowledge, feel, and be present whilst you're doing it. Now, let's flip the script. In order for you to be emotionally available, you need to be emotionally intelligent. And I've got a video as to how you can do that. But to summarize what emotional intelligence is the ability to be aware of your emotions, the ability to direct your emotions, the ability to understand and learn how to navigate in your emotions, and most importantly, the ability to use your emotions to empower the decision that you're making. Women want not just, women want to feel like they are part of something. So, in other words, you need to make sure that your woman feels like she's, whether it's a part of a mission or part of your journey, she needs to feel like she's going somewhere. And the reason why she wants to feel like she's going somewhere is because no one likes idleness. So when you now are just sitting idle, you're putting your relationship at risk because the woman wants to feel like this guy's going places. Even if you're at the top of the crowd, she wants to feel like there's something about you that's driving you to do something, right? So don't be lazy, get working. Women nowadays want a lot of things that weren't necessarily available back then, or due to women's rights, it wasn't sort of a thing that people spoke on. But if you go back to Genesis, the man was designed to be the leader and the woman was designed to follow. But although the Bible does say that the woman would desire to lead and will not be able to. And in order to fulfill that need or to keep the balance, you need to allow her to lead herself. Okay? And what I mean by that is she needs to be able to do her thing. She's not your puppet. She's not this, go-to bobblehead that just does everything you say at will. No, she has to have her own life. She has to have her own personality. And it's okay for you to allow her to do her thing. I'm not saying you should take disrespect or just, whatever the case is, whatever disrespect means to you. But you should definitely be able to navigate in a space where it allows her to feel like she's in charge of her decisions without affecting what it is you're doing. So it's a balance, okay? But in other words, you want to accept her or make her feel accepted for who she is without necessarily telling her that you need to change or, hey, this is what you need to improve. You empower her, okay? Not discourage her. Because whatever you do will multiply. So when you discourage someone, they become more discouraged. When you empower someone, they become more empowered. Women want to feel, okay? Which goes back to the emotional tank. And because they want to feel a lot more than most men do, questionable nowadays, unfortunately, and I can't speak for all men, but women want to feel. And because they want to feel, you need to focus your actions and be very aware of what it is you're trying to do. So when you're patting on the head, you're saying, I want her to feel protected. So I want to pat her on the head or pat her on the back and say, it's okay, I got you. Or you want her to feel loved. So you're going to do a gesture that makes her feel loved. So in other words, you are now becoming very aware of the emotions you want them to feel, and you take action based on the emotions that you want to translate. But you should be doing something daily. It'll be concerning, especially if you're someone that carries weight, for you not to be doing anything. Women want clarity. And like I said in the first rule, when you gain clarity, you become unstoppable as a man. Because not only you've mastered how to be calm in the storm, which we all experience, by the way, not only you've learned how to become a thermostat in the temperature room, because you can weather the storm and control the weather of the room, but you've learned how to stand on grounded ground. So you are the person that once she touches, imagine she's running away from a monster. Once she touches you, she's in a safe space. That's what happens when she now feels secure in you, right? This isn't about being nice. This isn't about being alpha. This is about being grounded. And in order for you to be grounded, you need to accept yourself shamelessly and, like my mentor says, gain that deep connection with your consciousness. And you do that by being able to not just be very conscious, but almost like in love with who you are. You're in love with where you're going. You're in love with your vision, and you're so passionate about it that there's this flame and fire that's burning inside you that's being contained. And they can see it in your eyes, but they can also see the composure. And because you're so composed, it's like, ooh, this guy is, god damn, man. Right? That is the essence of being able to control your consciousness. Now, I know I'll probably say at the end, but because I told you too much in this one. You want to understand how to do this properly, drop me a message and I'll see how I can help you. I do this on a one-to-one basis. I've got 6-week programs, 12 weeks programs, 1 or 2 days immersions. Those are for like elite, and it's not cheap because I'm a father and a husband. So I mean, if I'm going to take time out, you better pay me, right? But anyways, really interested in doing this, drop me a message and I'll see how I can help you. Number 10. They want a man that's able to filter surface connections. What I mean by that is when you attract a proper woman, okay, this isn't a channel where I deal with rotten human beings. Whether it's man or women, I can't save everyone. And I've accepted that there's some people that are simply too far gone. I can't help them and I don't want to help them. But if you're a man that wants to build a healthy connection, this is what I want you to do. Now listen up. You want to be able to filter right through the nonsense. If someone is impressed, that means there was something about what happened that isn't something that they're used to. People are not impressed by what they normally have access to. So as a guy, if you're someone that's impressed by sex, I'm telling you now, you come across as someone that doesn't have access to it. If you're a woman, you're someone that's impressed by money, you look like someone that doesn't have access to it. Things that you have access to on a regular basis simply bore you. They bore you to death because you're used to them, right? You're not going to get excited in the UK or in Dubai over the sun. Oh my gosh, it's sunny again. Oh my gosh. Why do we do it in the UK? Because it's barely sunny. If it was sunny every day, we'd be like, yeah, what do we get excited about in the UK? Absolutely nothing. Sorry, that's quite healthy. But you get the point. You want to be excited over things that don't happen regularly. And if you can't sense that excitement in the person you're with because you've not taken them to an expensive restaurant, that's a red flag, my friend. You're taking them out and they're snapping the dashboard, that's a red flag. You're taking them out and they snap their gym routine all of a sudden and they're like, oh my gosh, this is day 30. They're excited. No one gets excited about things that they do regularly. So you want to be able to filter through the surface connections. And how you do that is you don't get excited about the things that you know should be normal. You shouldn't be excited about someone that knows how to communicate effectively. You shouldn't be excited about someone that wants to have sex with you. You shouldn't be excited about someone who wants to build with you. What you should be excited about is their goals. Oh, tell me about your goals. Oh, I've never heard that before. That's exciting. What are you doing for it? Right? Excitement, let excitement come from things that you know you don't have access to, and because you don't have access to, you're authentically being curious about. But your standards should be things that you don't just have access to, but they should not excite you. This is why guys lose good women. When you get a good woman, you get excited over the fact that she's a good woman. So that woman now knows that you're attracting trash regularly, which means you're not in her frequency. And because you're not in her frequency, she now feels like she's settling down or she's dating downwards, and no woman wants to date downwards. No man should want to anyway, right? You should want to date upwards. You want to be with someone that's either at your level or higher. Now let me explain. That doesn't necessarily mean match, because I made a video on TikTok where I specifically said this is what this is about. But this is about alignment, okay? When you're in the right frequency, you align. And because you align, you're able to connect and attract people that not only have what you will also have, but are able to sort of filter out the people that don't, because it's not even that you're looking down on them, but you're simply saying, listen, I'm not the guy for you. I can't, because I'm not excited. I can't get excited over this. You're excited, like a girl looking at you and she's good in bed, and you're now saying, oh my gosh, this is the best thing I've ever had. Oh God, please fix up. But I really hope this has helped you understand a bit more about what women want. Again, in my training, I do go into deeper depth, but it all does come down to you and how you come across in the world. Don't be desperate, never. But be determined, assertive, and most importantly, own your presence, okay? Now, I really hope this video has helped you. Again, in my training, I do go into deeper length in regards to what outfits you should wear, what perfume or cologne, the shoes, the style. But yeah, if you're interested in any of that, drop me a message and I'll see whether I can help you. I don't work with everyone. Like I said, there's some people that I simply don't want to work with because it's just a lost cause and you're weird. And I'm not gonna help. I don't care. I've worked away from deals, £1 million deals, your name. But anyways, that's a different story. I'm glad this has helped you. And listen, subscribe. Drop in the comments anything else you want me to talk about, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.